Alright, so this video is part 2, questions 6 through 10, and we're going to start with number 6. True or false? The statement LM is equal to NP means that the lengths of both segments are equal. I'm going to have to say true, and that's because they did use the equal sign here, and it's not a congruent side. So we're going to say true. Question number 7. True or false? If you and a classmate construct two triangles with side lengths of 2 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and 5 centimeters, you will end up creating two congruent triangles. I'm going to say true, and the reason I'm going to say true is because of our congruency rule of SSS, or side, side, side. And what that says is that triangles are congruent if their corresponding sides are congruent. Number 8. Determine whether the two triangles are congruent. If they are, write which congruence shortcut you can use to prove it. So we have 4 congruence shortcuts. We have side, 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 which we used on number 7, side, angle, side, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Alright, so let's look at the information they've given us on these two triangles. I see that side AC is congruent to side DE. I see that angle C is congruent to angle E. And I also see that angle B is congruent to angle F. So they've given us two angles and one side. So it's not going to be side, side, side. It's not going to be side, angle, side. We're left with these two because they have two angles and a side. So which one is it? Well, it's going to be angle, angle, side, because the side that's congruent to the other side is not in between these two angles. If they said CB was congruent to EF, then we would use angle, side, angle. But since they didn't, the rule we're going to use, the shortcut we're going to use is angle, angle, side. So the correct answer again is angle, angle, side. Number 9. Determine whether the two triangles are congruent. If they are, write which congruent shortcut you can use to prove it. So looking at this, we have 4 congruence shortcuts. We have side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Let's look at the information they gave us for both of these triangles. Angle N is congruent to angle Y. Angle NO, side NO is congruent to side YE, and side MO is congruent to side KE. Now, we got two sides, so that means it can't be angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. So it has to be side, 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 or side, angle, side. Well, I know it's not side, side, side because they didn't tell us whether or not side MN was congruent to side YK. So we cannot use that one. Now we're left with side, angle, side. Now side, angle, side. In order to use that one, the two triangles, in order for them to be congruent, the two sides and the angles that form those two sides, or the angle that's between those two sides, have to be congruent. Now notice, this angle is not in between these two sides. Now, if they had told us that angle O was congruent to angle E, then we could use side, angle, side. But since the angle is outside, it's not in between these two sides, these two congruent sides, we cannot use SAS. So I'm going to have to say that these two triangles are not congruent. Alright, number 10. State what additional congruent statement must be true in order to prove the two triangles congruent by ASA. Now ASA stands for angle, side, angle. Now again, order matters. So in order for us to use this congruency shortcut, you have to have an angle, the side in between them, and the angle. So this side is connecting these two angles. Now in these two triangles, they've told us so far that angle T is congruent to angle W. They also told us that angle U is congruent to angle X. Now, in order for us to use angle side angle, the side in between those two angles must be congruent. So this side has to be congruent to that side. So we would have to know the additional congruent statement that we would have to have in order to use ASA would be that TU is congruent to WX. That's our additional statement we must need.